Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, I'm Zombie Bones, but you can call me Sam. I'm sorry about the lack of icons or like PNG tuber or whatever in this video. I need to make new ones for my character Glenn. I only have like one expression and like it's a little awkward. Anyways, today I want to talk about boredom when it comes to creation. In my case, boredom can be caused by burnout, stagnation, sometimes both, and every time it results in art block. Before my last video, I hadn't posted in 2 months. Oops. The reason I couldn't draw. Every time I picked up the pencil, I would get an overwhelming sense of boredom. I would put down the pencil and pick up my mouse to play The Sims 4, which I'm actually working on a video about. Keep an eye out for that. That's really disheartening when I want to work on things like Magician's Gambit, a webcomic that has been in production for nearly 4 years because of this habit of boredom. So what do I do to fix it? I'll do one of the following. I'll draw something outside of my comfort zone, I'll draw something incredibly in my comfort zone, or I'll try to experiment with my art style. Today, or I guess 2 days of September 8th and September 9th, I chose the last option. What I did to experiment was gather 3 eye-catching styles that I really like for different reasons. Firstly, Karina Faric, which I'm working on screen right here. She works on Drawfee, and I absolutely adore her work. Specifically, I like her use of color, especially when shading. I also really like the way that she can tell very simple stories, or like, not simple, she can tell stories using simple illustrations of single or double images, just 1 or 2 images. She used to work for BuzzFeed making comics, so she's really good at chronological art as well, or sequential art. I just love her work so much. Hi. My cat has returned. I will put a picture or video up on screen. She was bothering me while I drew earlier. So I did notice something while observing her artwork outside of her shading, and that was her use of anatomy and how she did anatomy.
I also
It was
noticed
very
that whenever
interesting
she
that,
does
like, both of her characters,
shading,
Smith
she
and
tends
Nando,
to
which are
use
both on the
a
left
more
side of the screen,
saturated and
were
warmer version
2.5
of the base
heads
color,
tall,
which
in their
I thought was
torsos.
very
Interesting. I had never seen something like that in other artworks that I've studied, or my own artwork. Obviously, I've never done that before. And something I've observed while watching Drawfee is that she'll often sketch in a very loose style that's more impressionistic of what she wants to depict, and then she'll go in and do like another sketch layer or like another round of sketching, which is really interesting to me. So when it came to Karina, I focused more on her use of color than anything else. Essentially, I love her style. The semi-realistic proportions were not something I was looking to replicate, but I was looking to draw inspiration from her style of shading and style of like bold colors that all worked really well together. She clearly has a very good grasp of color theory. Moving on to the next artist, I chose Lavender Town. I've looked up to Lavender Town for like literal years. She's also known as Haley Newsome, and I looked up to her to the point that I was considering applying to the university that she went to for illustration. I adore the way that she uses more muted colors, and the way that she simplifies anatomy, and the way that she conveys emotion especially. I also like those like eyelash things that she does. I think they're really cute, and I love like the pupil things that she does where like they're different shapes, and I wanted to kind of add that into my own style some because like I just think that's adorable. Like I think it conveys emotion really well. I actually did a full little like drawing for this one. I fussed around with something trying to replicate her style as closely as I could, using different like sketching styles and stuff like that. I also wanted to see how I felt with thicker line art because she does tend to use thicker, albeit varied lines when drawing with a bit of texture to them, and I have not used a textured brush in a very long time. I'm actually not a fan of texture in my line work because it makes bucket filling a little bit more difficult. I've always struggled with more simplified art as well, because I didn't want to fall into traps of being too childish, and I've always had this huge fear of not being taken seriously. Of course, Lavender Town has made it abundantly obvious that a simplified style does not equate being childish or unserious. I mean, for God's sake, she just recently published Unfamiliar in a physical copy. which if you want to fund me buying the physical copy or just living in general and being able to pay the bills, my commissions are open and you can check the link in the description below to get more information about that if you're curious. DM me on Twitter. Anyways, Lavender Town's entire existence has taught me a lot about art, and I'm super grateful for her as an artist. I literally would not be where I am as an artist without her do this, not that videos. And obviously I still have a lot of room to improve. We all do. There's a reason I don't get a lot of commissions, and it's because I'm not the best artist out there. I mean, I'm also not that popular, which probably adds to it. Share this video to your friends, y'all. It'll help feed me, probably. I say that like my mom doesn't feed me. Yeah, Sam exposed. I still live with my mom. Anyways, and she also is kind of what inspired me to start doing YouTube, because videos like that she makes are the types of videos that I wanted to start making on YouTube, but I don't know how to get my speed paints to look like hers. I use a completely different program from her. I'm pretty sure that she uses Procreate and I use Krita, so obviously our speed paints are gonna look different, but I really wish that I could capture the style of speed paint that she does, specifically in her character design videos where she's turning things into cute boys or girls, where it's a static screen and you just see it start to be drawn on the screen rather than it constantly zooming in and stuff, because I know that my speed paint zooming in and out can be kind of stressful. I also just I don't know, I could gush about Lavender Town for literal hours, and I probably have before. She is simply my favorite artist of all time, and I'll die on that hill. And it looks like we're moving on to our last artist. Oh, it's just Lavender Town again, but this time in 2012? Yeah, as much as she personally dislikes her old art due to it being less polished or whatever, and other such reasons, I really enjoy it. Kind of the same way that I like my own art. It's a relic of the time that it was made in. 2012 DeviantArt was very different than nowadays DeviantArt and just nowadays art in general. And I really like the time capsule-ness of it. I also really liked the strong red on the coleslaw cover, which is her old webcomic that actually all three of these drawings are referenced to, but she only drew 70 pages. And according to her, the plot made zero sense and wasn't that good. She actually made a video about it recently that you should totally go check out. But the reason that I chose this was because of the anime-inspired style, and the bright colors, and the really, really thin line art that had zero weight variation. It kind of reminded me of when I used to draw with the mouse. I would do relatively thin line art, but and eventually I learned how to mimic weight variation using figure line art and erasing. But overall, I did not draw with line. I have not been drawing with line variation for very long. I think I can probably go find my oldest drawing with an art tablet, and you'll see that it is not that old. It's from Christmas of 2020, I think. I also really like how in this style, flat blacks were incorporated a lot. I don't actually find myself using flat blacks a lot in my art, and I would really like to incorporate those more. I also really just wanted to draw in an anime-inspired style. Again, I haven't done that in literal years. I really like drawing anime art. So I had a lot of fun doing this one, and while we're sitting here, I'm gonna talk a bit about art block, and how it has impacted me making videos and drawing. So yeah, I probably haven't drawn a finished illustration in over 2 months. Like I said in my last video, which most people probably skipped, the thumbnail was bad, and the title was Let's Talk. And the thumbnail said me yapping for 15 minutes. Yeah, I probably wouldn't click on that either. It was kind of low effort, but it's fine. Anyways, I you can even see the effects right now of my brain fog just being there, because I have had so much trouble focusing in the past 2 months because of depression and all that shit, like I said in my last video. And like also like I was working a really taxing job, and like every single time that I talk about this with some people, they're like, "Oh my God, it's not that hard. Just put the fries in the bag." Da 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 da. Work food service in the year of our Lord 2024, and you will see it's not that easy. Um, so I was struggling a lot mentally, and that definitely contributed to me finding art boring and my art block. And after I finish recording this, I'm probably not going to draw again for a couple of days. If I do, it will be after a nice nap because it is 3:40 in the morning. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's 3:40 in the morning, and I should be asleep, but I'm not because I wanted to finish this video. Um, so yeah, I think a mixture of my sleep schedule and stuff has contributed to the art block. But I think doing stuff like this, experimenting, trying new stuff out, looking at things that I like, will definitely push me out of that art block. I'm definitely going to, after I finish this, consume some good media and take a nap. But that's it for this section. So we are about to jump into the last section where I make my own notes. So at the end of this, I did learn a lot. I learned what I liked from these art styles and why, and knew what I needed to do next. I drew these things kind of mashed together after I finished this, and I actually drew the things mashed together the day after I finished this because I finished this like at 3 in the morning again. I have such a bad sleep schedule, don't look at me. So I liked the bright and bold colors of Karina Faric and 2012 Lavender Town, the warm and saturated shading of Karina Faric, and the stylized pupils and flat blacks used by Lavender Town, as well as the anime eyes and thin weighted lines of 2012 Lavender Town. And so after drawing all 3 of the previous sketches of my character Glenn, which is now the mascot of this channel, I gathered a lot of things. I then went through each of those, took notes on what I liked, and began sketching my own drawing. So I started off by just doing a base sketch and jumped right into line art with no sketch under it, just the anatomy sketch. I also added a little piercing, which I don't even think he has an ear piercing like that, but I thought it was cute, so I added it. I captured the things I liked from each of those, like specifically in the structural parts of how it is drawn. I took a lot of inspiration from both Lavender Town examples, um, like the thin line work, the anime eyes, the little eyelash spike things from Lavender Town, stylized pupils of some kind, all that kind of stuff. But whenever it came to the colors, I took a lot from Karina, like them being saturated and bold. And I did try to do the shading that she does with the saturated tones, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't have the patience for all that, so I didn't do that. And honestly, I think I might still be bored of my art. You know, like I think I might still be bored after doing all of this and spending almost 4 hours on 4 separate little sketches. Well, 3 finished drawings technically, and 1 little sketch just to test out different colors. I might still be bored of my art. But I know what to incorporate to make me enjoy it more. Next time, maybe I'll look more into drawing backgrounds in a way I enjoy, but probably not on video. I doubt you guys want me to sit there for 15 minutes drawing backgrounds and just talking about that. But my next video will be probably the redrawing old art video that I mentioned in my video previous to this one. And then after that, I do have a Sims 4 video planned, so I hope that you guys are excited for those. I might do another character design video. Just let me know what you guys want to see in the comments below, because I'm gonna be real, I don't really know what kind of videos you guys want to see. I don't know what kind of videos to make. I just know that I want to make art videos. But with that said, I think that is the end. I don't really have much else to say. Thank you guys for sitting through all 16 minutes of this. Thank you guys for sticking with me in my 2-month vacation that was unwilling due to a lack of energy. Thanks for listening to me talk. I'm glad that you guys like my videos. I used to make those like speed paints with just music because I was terrified of people not liking my voice and like, boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. So I'm glad that I got over that fear. Um, well, yeah, that is like literally all I have left to say. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys not Tuesday, next Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The question of the day is, what is the weakest point in a skill you take part in? I also have a little bit of homework for you. Improve in that weakest skill before next week's video. Next week's video, I want you to comment and tell me what skill you improved in and if you feel like you still have room to grow. If you say no, you are lying. That will also let me know that you guys made it this far in this video. I hope you guys have a great day, night, or afternoon wherever you are. I will see you guys next week, like I said. Bye bye.